So here you are, studying for college finals in your dorm room. Studying is hard, but not when you have your favorite podcast to listen to. Oh, what's that? You just ran out of podcasts? Well, good luck studying with your roommate, singing with headphones like he's trying out for The Voice.
Bismillah, no, we will not let him go, let him go!
If only you subscribe to the AAA Podcast extra content, you'd still be bopping along to our hentai episodes, our hobby addicts, and our after parties. You might not be able to play video games during finals, but at least you can hear us talk about them. And you wouldn't have had to kill your roommate. Don't kill your roommate. Head over to aapodcast.com/join or Patreon today and support the podcast. Again, that's aapodcast.com/join or Patreon. I need to get myself some more podcasts.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at aapodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Hello all, and welcome to the 620th episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. Joining me today is Mason. Hello, Mason.
Hello, that's me. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad to be here. I think. Wait. Yeah, I am glad. Really glad, actually. Weather is kind of crummy outside, so being inside, it's all good. Mitz is getting saucy over there. I don't
Jiggy
know.
with
What
it.
is happening there? What substance is in that water gun? Is it just water? Oh god.
High quality H2O.
Okay, because it just looked strange when you were... I thought it was like, is that lotion or something?
Ew, putting lotion in the water?
I don't know. It looked thicker than water, but...
Oh my goodness. What is this? Has Kazuo's parents turned Mitsugi into a hydro homie? He's got the water gun, he's got maybe it's just straight up vodka and it's just one of those days, but...
What happened to your gigantic jug of water?
Listen, I'll just say that I'm doing macros, I'm bulking right now, and I had a little bit of an extreme cheat day. Last night we pulled the most extreme stoner move ever, which was like having Doritos delivered to the house at like midnight, and my weight was way up today, so I have to drink like a gallon and a half of water today because I got to get all this. I'm holding too much water, people, so I'm drinking my water, being a good hydro homie, right there with Mason.
Oh,
That's
thank
great.
you.
I mean, I also drink water, in case you did not know.
Is
I
it
can
in
also be a
big,
hydro homie.
clear, I don't know, vessel for us
Hydro
to
homie.
admire it?
It is clear, but it's blue.
Hydro homies unite.
There we go. We take it.
Can we change the name of this podcast to the Hydro Homie House or something? I don't know. Whatever.
There's water everywhere, by the way. I shot that scorpion straight up. It hit the ceiling, and there's just water everywhere.
And now you are being rained on at this point in time. Well, that's what happens when you squirt a water gun into the ceiling. But, yeah.
Carolyn, what is this podcast about, actually?
This is about anime. It's not
What
about
do we do
water.
here?
It is not. It is about anime. So please go ahead and tell your friends that this is about anime, so we can make your anime addiction worse. You can find us on Twitch. We are live every Sunday at 5 p.m. EDT. We are also on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Discord, which is the place to be for all anime and otherwise discussions. And today, we are going to be talking about our spring 2022 selections for our impressions. So very exciting. A new season is upon us, so we are going to talk about that, as well as the review of Platinum End, which just finished up. We are ready to talk about it.
It did have a
Without
platinum end,
doubt.
didn't it?
It was certainly an anime.
It was a thing.
It ended. Yeah, its platinum ended
It had an
quite
end,
a bit
yeah.
there
Yep.
in many different ways.
Yep.
So we will get to that in just a bit. But first, our big news of the week.
大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
Well, Yamacon is in the news again. People probably don't even remember who Yamacon is at this point, but Yamacon
I don't know
was.
what that is.
Yeah, he's been gone for a while. He was the director of Wake Up Girls, Kanagi. He was a pretty like well-known director. I don't know, like maybe 8-9 years ago, 7. But he just got into a lot of trouble because the guy just like runs his mouth a lot and says a lot of shit that makes people mad. So anyway, so he came back. He's a very strange guy. So he came back. He's been trying to get this anime made called Magical Girls, and that's literally the title. Described as a violent dark fantasy that he wants to make into a full-length film. So he had a GoFundMe out because I don't know. I feel like he got fired from his studio. I don't remember, but
I think he got fired from Kyoto Animation.
Could be. So
I think he did like the first couple episodes of Lucky Star, and then they're like, you're not quite cutting it, my dude.
So he was only able to raise $64,000 for this movie, which is like pretty sad because I feel like you can raise $64,000 for almost anything. But it fell short.
I would like to raise $64,000 for something.
I mean, like literally, like Mattel could come out and say, "We're gonna like do a GoFundMe to put to make a new Matchbox car," and they'd probably get $100,000. But so he didn't get his goal. He's pissed. He blames COVID for stalling negotiations, and because a large number of like movies recently haven't done well in the box office, so he couldn't get it funded. But really, the reason why he couldn't get it funded is because this guy's fucking nuts, and he didn't get shit for funding because he just ran his mouth too much and pissed everybody off. So he says quotes like, quote, "The more I ponder this project, the more I realize the significance of creating a work like this in today's world. Even if Mahou Shoujo Tachi, a work like it isn't released soon, I seriously predict that Japanese animation will truly come to an end."
He really thinks that he's the savior of anime if this thing does not get made.
Yep.
That anime is just going to go down the toilet.
Yep.
He doesn't work at Trigger. He can't say
Well,
stuff
he's
like
triggered.
that.
He must. 'cause
Triggered all right.
He's triggered a lot of people. So he basically got kicked off Twitter for saying all kinds of shit that he shouldn't say. He claimed that otaku are to blame for ruining anime.
Are we?
Only partially.
It's debatable.
Yeah, only partially is a good answer.
Makoto Shinkai came out and like made a post like wishing the families of the KyoAni people well, like after the fire happened, and his response was like, "Shut up," basically. Which I guess he's butthurt because he got, I guess he doesn't have a good relationship with KyoAni, but like comments like that, and then he's popped off and just like went nuts, like and just going. He doesn't like these tirades. So I don't know. He basically got himself canceled. But I just feel like I basically put this in here because it's kind of like just desserts because, if you're going to run your mouth for, years and years and years and say a lot of shit to people and make people mad, like you can't really be shocked when those same people don't want to give you money to fund your fucking anime. I mean,
yeah.
You made your bed, you lie in it, but I don't know. He does look good in a suit. Some pictures of him like wearing suits. So you have that.
That's the only thing he has going for him.
Yeah, you could go become like a model for, Vogue or something. I don't know. But yeah, Yamacon, he's pretty much done. So, and,
I didn't even know who he was, but even more, he sounds not very appealing.
Well, his real name's not Yamacon. That's just like a shortened name. But like, he was kind of a big deal for a while.
First when he said Yamacon, I thought it was like another anime convention.
Yomacon or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know,
hopefully the people who contributed get some of their money back. I'm guessing they won't. I'm guessing it depends on the site it was on.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but I assume they'll get the money back. I don't know.
I mean, it's not like it raised nothing, so people did want it, so it is like a bummer. I get that, but also, I don't know.
I don't know, but I will say that
not a great look either way.
I will say one final thing is that he did leave the door open for a return. because he said the project was stalled due to lack of investors. So it's not like canceled due to lack of investors. So we'll have to see. It's just stalled for now. So maybe he'll go rob a bank or, go beat up a bunch of kids and take their lunch money. Whatever you got to do.
And then complain about those same kids not wanting to support him.
All right, that's all I got.
Okay, well, on my list of things to talk about is Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll has been very busy these last couple of weeks. Apparently, even while we're all talking about the addition of the Funimation library to Crunchyroll, Crunchyroll will also be removing a lot of popular shows on March 31st. So the list contains like 50 titles. Yeah, way. Contains about 50 titles, and there's sequels. And this is just a short list of a few of them. We got Akamega Kill, Food Wars, Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto, Hozuki's Cool-Headedness, Kids on the Slope, Kokoro Connect, Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions, My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu, No Game No Life, and Non Non Biori. And again, that's like 10 of 50 titles that will
line them up, baby.
Out of these 10, what is the one where you're like, quick, it's about to go away? Which one are you going to tell people to watch?
I mean, I feel like a few of these things are on other services. So I'm trying to think.
Kids on the Slope.
What?
Ignoring the fact that it could be somewhere else. And like, if all of them were going away permanently forever from the entire internet, which one is like, oh, catch this before you miss out?
Well, for me personally, one of my favorite shows is Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions. So I have to put my money behind that. One thing I did not add to this list that I saw was going to be leaving as well was School Live or Gakko Garashi. And of course, we've talked about that one in the past, and it's become a little bit of a meme that apparently I am the biggest fan of that show.
It's true,
not
though.
True. It's not. I'm not like the biggest fan.
Come on.
I'm just saying that it's a lot better than people give it credit for.
In the last 30 seconds, I heard I am the biggest fan of. I've heard all those words coming from your mouth, so therefore.
It was a quotation. A couple people have come up to me as if I like making jokes that I am apparently the biggest fan of that show.
It's okay if you are. It's
I have written a rant about it that I have not gotten a chance to share on this show, but maybe
exciting.
Someday. Well, it was from remember that topic we did for Around the Horn or whatever it was called.
Oh yeah,
I like that topic.
Around
That was
the Enemy
good.
Horn. Yeah, it was a fun time.
So
we all had to prepare a minute-long rant if one of us won. I did not win, but I had it prepared, and I still have it prepared when the time is right.
Well, we'll have to do it again so you can have your moment in the sun. Did I win?
Maybe if I win. I think so.
Wow, I never win anything. Shocking. I'm okay. Well, all right. I guess Sony just couldn't afford the server space for these extra shows.
I think they were just due, regardless of the monopoly. But my news is also speaking about Crunchyroll or County Roll or whatever.
Country Roll.
Country Roll. Take me home.
Country Roll. Take me home.
But this one is based on their new monopoly, and that is that Crunchyroll will no longer be offering free ad-supported streaming for the new anime season. They announced that starting with Spring 22's lineup, you, besides the first couple episodes for like a short period of time, you will not be able to watch any of the new shows coming to Crunchyroll unless you have a paid account or subscription. Continuing anime or stuff that was there prior, you should be able to watch for free by, not having full HD, not having ads, all the kind of benefits that come with membership, but you will not be able to watch any of the stuff from the new season, which we're going to be talking about in a couple minutes. So do you guys think this is a good call? Do you think they're like, yeah, we're going to try to get those people who are the freeloaders who are just willing to wait a week to watch anime? Or do you think this is kind of a not a great move?
It's a good call.
Well, it's
good call,
kind of surprising that Crunchyroll has been offering free stuff for so long. After all, it doesn't seem like a lot of other streaming services offers that kind of thing. But yeah, I feel kind of bad for the people who just want to watch anime and will sit through the annoying and repetitive ads for that chance that they can't afford it. But I mean, I guess it was a long time coming.
I feel like it's a good move for them. I mean, clearly Sony has a pretty strong hold on anime now. Because they control most of this, other than like Netflix, they control mostly everything. But here's the thing. I understand people are like, oh my God, now I have to pay the $8 or whatever, and now people are going to be pirating stuff, which they already do. But here's the thing. It's like, I feel like between Funimation and Crunchyroll, you're getting them both for one price. So you got to remember that. And two, you're probably paying for one or the other anyway. So you're really not really spending much more. But the other thing is that Crunchyroll is generally so fucking terrible at commercials that like it's almost impossible to watch their service without paying for it. I mean, do you really want to watch like 9 commercials per anime episode and have it be the same commercial over and over and over again? I mean, it is just brutal. I mean, I remember like how many times did I have to watch an ad for like King Super's like new app that they have to order groceries on your phone? Like they play the commercial, then they play it again right after that. Then again, you watch the same commercial like 4 times. It's just insufferable. I mean,
it's
honestly,
truly the training arc of anime viewership.
It's just brutal. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's unfortunate because some people would like. I suffered through those commercials for a long time before I bit the bullet. But at least you're getting 2 services for the price of 1. I don't know. That's about all. But it's smart for them. It's smart on their part because they're probably making less money on the ads, and now that they have you by the balls, they'll charge you money for it. I don't know. They paid a lot of money to buy Crunchyroll, so they got to make their money back. I'm sure they overpaid for both these services, to be honest. Companies usually do.
There you go.
Do you think it's a good idea? I'm not the biggest
fan. I mean, I just like being able to say, hey, go here, watch something new for free, especially someone who's trying to decide, is anime for me? I want to give it a shot. And yeah, you can go to other places like YouTube and stuff to find a couple things, but really Crunchyroll is now the premier destination for this stuff. And to say, hey, like, I know they have like 7-day free trials and stuff like that, but it is kind of like a bummer that you can't just as easily recommend stuff to people if they might be new to it. And
at
besides,
least
they've done studies. Commercials make shows better, so maybe people will realize how bad anime is, and we don't want that.
At least they're not trying to charge you $20 a month like Netflix.
True.
I mean, it could be in the future.
I mean, it could be, but I doubt it. People would just
anyway.
pirate.
That's enough Crunchyroll talk.
This
anime.
entire news break has been basically Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
And Yamacon
whatever.
being an asshole.
And Yamacon.
Yeah.
Most importantly, we brought up the spring 2022 season, which is what we're here to do today.
That's right. It's my favorite episodes of the year. I love these episodes. We have our picks for spring. It's very exciting.
Hooray!
I managed to roll a 2 out of 20 on my dice roll, so that was very nice. And I'm just gonna say that I have taken the cowardly route, as I also do in like Dark Souls and other things. I'm just gonna say I picked my anime based on the order of popularity as they were presented to me on MyAnimeList. So if these animes suck, or if people get mad because I didn't pick this or that, you're the one that picked it. It's your fault.
So, for those who don't subscribe to our bonus content, last after party, we went in on kind of how we pick shows, and we gave some of us a hard time for their history of picked shows. Has any of that come into play here, or you're going pure numerically? If I'm getting what people are most excited for, I'll probably be getting some good shows.
No, Mason, I was just lazy. I didn't want to I didn't want to watch
and
all
this
these.
is why you keep on wondering why you get such crappy shows. It's because people love crap.
But that's why you're here to pick the good stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I'll take the hit so you can have the good stuff. But like, honestly, it was a new level of laziness because I didn't even want to look at the pictures this time and pick the best pictures like I usually do. I just literally just picked them in the order. But I watched the trailers. I feel like these are the shows people want. So I don't know if it's a win-win. I'll go first. I have clips from Pancake. She roasted me too. So
Oh, great. I love it.
Yay.
People keep asking for that, so I'll just keep giving people what they want. I'm kind of like that. So I'm gonna pull up YouTube here because it's just I have details about these shows and links to the PVs in the show notes. If you get the show notes, if you don't get the show notes, go support the podcast. You know where to do it. This first one is called Yusha Yamemas, which literally means I'm gonna quitting heroing. I'm quitting being a hero is how I translated it. It's from EMT Squared, not a studio I generally follow much. They did Kuma 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 Bear and Assassin's Pride. Those are some of their most watched shows, and it's a light novel. Pretty sure this is an isekai. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But after saving the world, the strongest hero, Leo, became someone who is not wanted in a peaceful human world. He was just too strong. And exiled, he seeks a job at the Demon King's army, which he had defeated and needs to be rebuilt. The army has many problems, too much work, financial troubles, etc. And he starts working to make the Demon King army better, which is really strange because, I don't know why you destroy it only to try to revive it. I watched the trailer. It seems pretty paint by numbers, honestly. Fantasy action show. I feel like we just had a show where the hero quit being a hero. Is that not right?
I don't know. I just hear hero and there's 7,000 anime that come to mind.
Yeah, this PV is definitely I've seen the show 12 times last season alone.
Yeah. I put percent chances to pass on here. I thought it'd be fun.
Okay, yeah.
After watching the PV and everything, I gave this one about a 30% chance of being picked. I don't think these percentages are going to add up to 100 or whatever, so don't try to do it. Just use the percentages as my general first impression.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
I feel like it's paint by numbers fantasy show. It probably won't be that good, but it is my bottom pick. I had to go all the way. I did pretty well. I only had to go to number 8. I got everything I wanted despite not having a good dice roll.
Because Mason and I don't want to watch crap.
Well, you all got pretty much what you wanted to. So, and Pancake.
But
go ahead.
Here's a question for you, because I see on your list further down, your backup, there's one called Yusha Blah Blah. Is that really the title of this show?
I swapped a couple out, and then I couldn't remember the title, so I remembered it had Yusha in it, and I was just I don't really care. So I just
so Yusha Blah Blah.
Another Yusha show.
Yeah.
You have two Yushas.
No, it's the same one.
Here's the clip from Pancake, either talking shit or roasting me. I don't know which it is.
The girl has horns. That's the only reason it's on his fucking list. All right, let's be clear right now.
There you go.
Oh, Pancake. You got some spicy pancakes for breakfast. Truth.
Next.
My pick, despite having an all right roll, I got a 10 out of 20 on my dice. I had to go all the way down to my number 17 pick for my first selection, which is a Gunjo no Fanfare, or Fanfare of Adolescence.
Watch it be amazing.
Is a Ledoux show who did most famously 2019's O Maidens in Your Savage Season. It's an original. You can find it on Crunchyroll, and it takes place at a horse racing academy that trains boys to become jockeys. It's a very competitive place, and those who wish to enter have to pass all these physical and mental and fitness tests. And it follows 3 15-year-old boys at the academy. One's an idol, one's a islander, and one's a former jockey. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be like Uma Musume, but as the person who kind of liked Uma Musume, maybe I'll like this show. I've never been into horses. I've never done horse racing or dressage or anything like that, but I don't know. Maybe I picked it just because Hiroyuki Sawano is on the music, who
he's good.
He's always fun to listen to.
Yeah.
The visuals look kind of basic, but I do love my originals. So I would probably put this, compared to what else is on my list.
Yes.
20% chance to pass.
Okay.
That's kind of generous. It depends if it gets into, I just have no idea what kind of story it is trying to tell. If it's a slice of life, if it's a sports, if it's a boys' love. It's hard to tell. I don't have a good vibe. So yeah, we're going with Fanfare of Adolescence for my first pick.
All right. Well, you're up, Caroline.
All right. So at the bottom of my list, I had to go to number 12. and as to get to the shows that I'm actually going to watch this season. But on my list at number 12, we have Tomodachi Game, which is by Studio Okuruto Noboru. I have never heard of this studio before, but whatever. It is based on a manga. It is a game psychological shonen anime, and the synopsis is very long. I'm gonna try my best to summarize it here. So we got this boy. He has faced financial hardships for his entire life, but is always supported by his friends, and it's all fun and good. He saves up enough money to join them on a school trip, but the money goes missing, and his two friends are basically the subjects of the suspicion. They say that, no, it wasn't us, but, we were responsible to protect the money, so that's basically that. Nobody else comes forward to take the blame, though. A few days later, they are ambushed and knocked unconscious. They wake up in a mysterious room in the presence of Manabu-kun, which is a character from a controversial children's show that stopped airing because of malicious content.
What?
Okay. I don't know!
Okay.
This is why it's at the bottom of my list.
Malicious content. Okay.
Who approves a children's show with malicious content in the first place? Who knows? Anywho, so this
SpongeBob's full of sex jokes and stuff, so.
Well, it goes over the heads of kids, but still, whatever.
Kids grow up pretty quick these days.
So the character Manabu-kun, which looks like a little puppet or whatever, he informs the group that one of them indirectly gathered them together to settle up this large debt. They are forced to play a friendship game, which is a series of games that will test their trust in each other. And then, of course, their faith wavers in each other because of a growing number of secrets and betrayals. And that's basically the synopsis of what I found. I am not very helpful about this show. I'm a little bit concerned by the appearance of an evil children's show character forcing these teens to play games, because it's been done a million times, probably not very decently. But as the trailer hints at, I'm kind of hoping that everyone in this show are actually psychopaths, because I feel like that is the only way this show would be entertaining to me. Hoping for the best, but I think I'm going to have to give this, if we are continuing with this percentage theme for our impressions today, a 5% chance of passing.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Yeah, this one looks very edgy.
Yeah.
And not good.
All right. Next up is Gaikotsu Kishi-sama Tadaima Isekai o Ode Kakechu, otherwise titled Skeleton Knight Going Out to the Parallel World Universe. And done by Studio Kai/Hornets, who worked on Somali and the Forest Spirit. It's a light novel. And I was immediately disgusted by this synopsis. Again, you guys picked these, not me. So one day, tell me if you guys have heard this. Stop me when you've heard this before. One day, a gamer played video games until he fell asleep. And when he woke up, he found himself in the game world.
Stop.
As a skeleton, equipped with the powerful weapons and armor of his avatar, but stuck with its frightening skeletal appearance, he has to find a place for himself in this new fantasy land. All his hopes for a quiet life are dashed when he comes across the past with a beautiful elven warrior, setting him on a journey full of conflict and adventure. Another isekai show, it's literally in the title. The guy is a skeleton, so there was that from the PV. And there's a cute as fuck girl getting her clothes ripped off. It's like half the trailer was this girl getting like declothed, and then the skeleton guy saves her. Which I was like, okay, it seems like I'm not that surprised. It's a weird thing to
put in a trailer. I watched it myself, and I'm like, why is this in the trailer?
I don't know. It's like the whole trailer too.
I know.
I'm just sick of these like sucked into a game anime. Like, holy shit, how many of these do we have to have? It's like 4 a season. It's unbelievable. Like, man, I guess I blame the writers of the light novels first of all, because I come up with some original ideas. It's like all they do is plagiarize off each other. And then I blame the studios for picking this shit up. Like, for fuck's sake. There have got to be other shows like 12 Kingdoms that are light novels that aren't the same shit over and over. I give this one about 30% also. It was fine. Like, I don't know. It could be good, I guess, but I don't know. I just don't know.
I mean, visually it looks a little bit stronger than the previous one, and I like the font on the title, so...
Yeah.
You like the font, at least.
I like the font, and it doesn't look as generic, like, style-wise as a lot of other isekai, so...
Well, here's what Pancake said about it.
Mitsugi's passing another freaking isekai. Surprise, surprise, guys.
Why does she speak so accurately about everything?
I didn't pick it. The listeners picked it. Okay?
Yeah, but
Stop
you're gonna
liking
be the one to pass
isekai.
it.
This is not the last isekai, okay? Apparently that's all people want to watch. Anyway, Mason, you're up.
My next one, and here's the spoiler. I picked shows just based on how easy they were to say in Japanese, so I didn't make an idiot of myself when I tried to read them. And this one is called Love All Play, which I think is supposed to be read as Love
What kind
All.
of play are we talking about here?
Comma play, like Love All, because it's a badminton show, and love all from like tennis is a 0-0 score, an even match.
Love All. Got it.
And then like plays and it's beginning the match. So that's how I'm interpreting it. But it is a story of a character named Ro who is once some obscure badminton player in middle school, and now he's in high school and he's trying to become the best and take his team along with him to probably whatever prefectural, quarterfinal, regional, whatever it is that their goal is. So it's a badminton show and it's sports. It's done by OLM, who we'll talk about later because they're doing a couple other shows this season that we're going to be talking about, as well as the other studios, Nippon Animation, who did 2021's Let's Make a Mug. So this is based on a novel, not a light novel.
Oh, wow.
And the
hell's the difference?
Length, mostly.
Oh, okay.
But, the last sports novel that we got was pretty good, which was Run with the Wind, which was a pretty good time. So,
it's true. That was pretty good.
For that. This is on Crunchyroll, and I'm getting big vibes to a show that came out a little while ago called Backflip, which was a pretty good-looking show. This, based on the trailer, also looks quite excellent. They both have blue uniforms, like in Backflip. They perform their sport on a stage with like a shadowed audience, just like in Backflip. It's got music by Yuki Hayashi, just like in Backflip. So I'm getting similar vibes to that show, which I thought was not bad, and I'm hoping this is the same. The only thing that raises like the doubt in my mind is there are twins on the team, and of course they play doubles because of course that's how anime does things. So I'm hoping it's not too stereotypical stuff, but if it's a solid sports show, we've been due for one of those for a while. So
yeah, overdue.
I've got
well overdue.
Like, I don't have high expectations, but I've got high hopes. So I'm going to say 50% chance.
Oh, wow.
Love All Play.
Jeez.
50% chance on a show that is second from the bottom.
Why don't
you, from the bottom, yeah.
If you love it so much, why don't you marry it?
Love is all around me, so I'd love to marry. I don't know. I'm hoping for the best there.
Well, speaking of sports shows, that is also what I have next on my list. I have Aoashi, which is from Production IG. It is a manga, and it's a seinen sports show. And it's about Ashito Aoi, who is a young, aspiring soccer player from a backwater town in Japan. His hopes of getting into a high school with a good soccer club are dashed when he causes an incident during a critical match for his team, which results in their loss and elimination from the tournament. Nonetheless, he catches the eye of someone important who happened to be visiting from Tokyo. So it sounds run-of-the-mill. Basically what Mason said, doesn't exactly sound like it's going to be reinventing the wheel here. I actually have not seen a lot of sports anime in my time, so maybe it'll be entertaining to at least me, who hasn't been bogged down by the tropes and all that. But I don't think it seems particularly special, but it could be entertaining, so I'm gonna give it a try.
Nice. All right. I'm also putting in links on the docket to the PVs for all my shows, so we can talk about those.
Oh, and in terms of my percent chance, I guess, if we're doing that, 20%.
All right, my next one is Aharen-san wa Hakarenai, or Aharen is indecipherable. From Felix Film, the makers of Ura Sekai Panic and Nekopara. God help us.
Let's go. 99% pass rate.
Source material, manga. Reina Aharen is a small and cute student with a quiet voice, is quite bad at determining distance and personal space, and sometimes she inches away from your face, and at other times miles too far. The only one who tries to understand her antics is a boy named Raido, who's seated right beside her in class. He has a menacing face, but in reality he is a kind boy with an imagination that runs wild. Blah, blah, blah. So I watched the trailer. I only made it 10 seconds into this trailer before I turned it off.
Oh, jeez.
It's just Moe school trash. Like the girl character, Aharen, is just a Moe blob. There's no fucking way I'll pass this, but I will do an impression on it. I give it a 5% chance. And here's what Pancake said. Where the fuck is the clip?
Why are people always handing erasers in Japan? Like, that is how you get a girl. Like, I could have a list of things you have to do. Girl has to stare at you blankly. You have to drop an eraser on the floor or a pencil, and the girl sucks at talking to other people.
There you go. At least I didn't get
that happens in Komi.
It happened in the trailer of this anime too, so I don't know.
I mean, I put it on my list, but I didn't get it because you, for some reason, who hates the idea of this show, put it higher than I did.
You did it. This is you.
I didn't do anything. I did not do anything.
The
you
subtitles literally say cute mumble noises, which is
my
Mitsugi
God.
to a T.
I will literally end it all
like
watching
38
this.
seconds into the trailer.
three. I'm gonna have to watch an hour of this shit. I'm literally gonna have to just like drink a ton of alcohol or something. It's ridiculous.
You did this.
No,
did this
you
to
did
yourself.
it. No,
You
the
did
listeners
this.
did it. Mason, you're up.
Okay, my next one is, what is my next one? It is In the Heart of Kunoichi Tsubaki, or Kunoichi Tsubaki no Mune no Uchi. The story tells the story of the titular Tsubaki, the best student in her school. She lives in a ninjo, which is what Kunoichi means, village of women, and they have a rule that they cannot have contact with men. However, as the synopsis says, she has a curiosity about them that she cannot reveal. So I picked the show because Cloverworks. I generally like the way their shows look, and more importantly, I like the properties that they select. This being a manga by the same person who did Teasing Master Takagi-san, which, well, not quite my cup of tea. A lot of people really liked it, and of the quote-unquote bully girl things we've been getting recently, I think is one of the better ones. So this is, no surprise, also on Crunchyroll, and I picked this show before the PV came out, and then the PV came out, and I regret this pick a little bit. It looks fine, it just is cutesy and will deliver what people want, but it seems more of a blushy comedy than I think what I was hoping for. So I would probably give it like a 10% chance of passing.
Not good.
No, not high hopes, but maybe the PV doesn't really capture the wit or comedy or styling or characterization of the show. So hopefully it's just a bad PV, but as of right now, this one I am not looking as much forward to as I was 3 days ago.
Well, on my list at number 5, we have Koi wa Sekai Seifuku no Atodore, which is Love After Domination, otherwise known as. It's by Studio Project 9, which I've never heard of. It's based off a manga, and it is a comedy romance shonen. And here is the description. In the eyes of the public, Fudo Aikawa and Desumi Magahara are sworn enemies. Fudo, also known as Red Gelato, is the leader of the hero squadron Gelato 5, whose mission is to bring about world peace. On the other hand, Desumi is a minion leader of Gecko, which is a villainous organization seeking world domination. However, while making a show of being at each other's throats, Desumi and Fudo pursue a secret forbidden relationship. So It's basically a Sentai anime where Red is in a relationship with the nemesis, and I think that's pretty funny. So let's give it a try. I think it'll be a fun time, and I can see myself not passing it, even if I do like it, because it might not be something that has a lot of review discussion potential. So, I mean, I'll give it a 27% chance of passing.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Gelato. What do we think?
Gelato.
As a dessert.
Thumbs up.
I like gelato.
Okay.
Thumbs
So
up. Ice
there's a
cream's better,
chance.
but gelato's good.
True.
Yeah.
Mitsugi, you seemed a little bit disinterested in this one.
It's just like, oh, the blah 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 5 that are gonna save the world. Like, are they gonna be red, yellow, blue, green, and black, or pink?
It's a
or something?
parody.
I know, but I hate Sentai shit. I hate it. So, whatever. Maybe it'll be amazing. I don't know. It's just very cliche, and I don't know. It's like they did it in Platinum End too, by the way. All right.
I know.
All right. Next up is I'm like getting pretty high up there now. I'm like on number 5 on my list.
Let's see how much you hate this one.
Okay. Probably a lot. Cuckoo's Fiancé is the title. Gakko no Inazuke. From Synergy SP, the makers of Initial D 5th Stage, Initial D Final Stage, and Battle Game in 5 Seconds, comes to you an adaptation of a manga. A 16-year-old student, Nagi, and second-year student, Meguro, at a River Academy High School were switched at birth. On his way to a dinner to meet his birth parents, he accidentally meets the brash, outspoken Erika, who is determined to make Nagi her fake boyfriend, as she never wants to actually get married. But once Nagi makes it to dinner, he finds that his parents have decided to resolve the hospital switch by conveniently having him marry the daughter his birth parents raised, who turns out to be none other than Erika herself. That is the most confusing synopsis ever. I don't understand.
I don't think it's confusing. I just think it's stupid.
So, I don't know. Is he marrying his sister? I don't understand.
No, okay. So you got, at the hospital, 2 parents, both having babies. The babies accidentally got switched. So one pair of parents were raising this other parent's baby and vice versa. So they realized that, oh my God, we were switched at birth, like several years later. And now they're like, let's have them marry each other for some reason. That's
okay.
it.
I don't know. It's fucking trash.
And obviously, the reference to how cuckoos are in the wild. You know, what they drop their egg in another bird's nest, that bird raises the baby.
How do you know this?
Because that's like the most common bird fact of all.
What? Yes, the man who goes bird watching to the man who watches birds, maybe. I'm not wearing pants, by the way. Is anybody surprised by that?
No, not in the slightest.
Yeah, I'm
this seems
not.
like one of those weird, campy, romancy things, but not in like a trashy way. Like,
it's trash.
It is a trashy one.
Come on, it's gonna
like,
be trash.
The PV didn't look like a trashy type show.
I don't even. I gotta pull the PV up again.
Like, it's gonna be cheesy and face palming, sure, but it doesn't seem like a.
It seems like
dating
everything you
your
don't
sister
like.
kind of thing. Yeah.
I dislike the girl's design. She looks like ass. I don't know. Her head looks like a Tutti Frutti ice cream cone. Just not a fan.
I can't wait for impressions.
Well, I will say that the only way that I'm going to watch and enjoy a slice of life rom-com these days is if it's fucking trash, probably. Because otherwise I'm just going to be bored. I'll give it a 25% chance of passing, just off of sheer trashiness. And here comes my roasting.
So the family basically has switched kids, and now their kids are going to fuck? That's the premise.
She didn't get it either.
She summarizes it so well.
Oh, she did get it. I didn't get it. That's typical, though. I often don't get it. Mason, you're up.
Cuckoo. That's how you pronounce the bird's name. I was like, well,
cuckoo? Like a cuckoo clock?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Oh my goodness. We're learning so much.
Have you guys never
today.
heard of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Yeah, I've seen it several times. It's a great movie.
Cuckoo. It's a bird.
Miss Ratchet's not nice.
Bird with quotes around it, because we all know, really. We all really know. My next
What
pick.
do we know, Mason? What do we know?
is to become a real heroine, the unpopular girl, and the secret task, or Heroine Tarumono, Kiraware Heroine no Naisho no Oshigoto. This is a show that I picked because the promotional image looked cool and colorful and flashy, and I like those things. It is my second show this season by Les Deuce after Jockey Boys.
Les Deuce?
They do.
Les
Fucking
Deuce.
love it.
They're back.
Coming in hot.
Where's my drop of Mandy talking about shitting on someone's face?
Les Deuce.
I'm gonna shit on your face. I'm gonna deuce on your face.
It will never be a not funny studio name.
Mega
my
deuce.
goodness. I'm probably also mispronouncing that, but Les Deuce just makes me
Duce.
smile.
He's gonna
Now it
take a
just
mega
sounds
deuce
like
on your
douche.
face.
Le Duc. It tells the story of Hiyori, who leaves her hometown to pursue her passion, which is track and field. And she enrolls in high school in Tokyo. She's looking for a part-time job to help pay for the bills, and she ends up working as an apprentice manager for her idol classmates. So this is not really based on like a manga or something. It's based on like just a bunch of Vocaloid songs and like just general Honeyworks tracks and other idols. I am not
Vocaloid.
into the idol scene. I know very little, essentially next to nothing about it. I just saw pretty art and said, okay, I like that. I see a Genki short-haired manager girl with like a strong Mugi tier eyebrow game. I watch. That's just how it is. I have no idea what my expectations are. I have no idea what I'll be getting. It seems like maybe we'll get some good idol songs. Maybe we'll get a little behind the scenes. Maybe it won't be just a cutesy. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. It looks kind of cool in the PV. I like Hiyori's design. Is the kind of character I tend to cheer for. So I'm hoping that it carries. So I'm going to say 35% chance. No, probably closer to 30. It's probably not going to have all that much to say, but it looks pretty. So
Yeah, I had that on my
enough.
list too. It looks like it would be a mix of sports and idol show. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was interested in it too.
It really could go either way, and I will certainly let you know how it is.
All right. Well,
Caroline.
number 4 on my list is Shokei Shoujo no Virgin Road, or The Executioner and Her Way of Life. This is from JC Staff. It's based off of the light novel Action Adventure Fantasy. And the description is the lost ones, quote unquote, are wanderers who come from a distant world known as Japan. If you've ever heard of that place
What?
before.
Where's that?
No one knows how or why they leave their homes. The only thing that is certain is that they bring disaster and calamity. The duty of exterminating them without remorse falls to Menno, a young executioner. When she meets Akari, it seems like just another job, until she discovers that it is impossible to kill Akari. So Menno begins her search for a way to kill her, defeat her immortality. But Akari is more than happy to tag along. I'm guessing that she's just very oblivious to everything. So begins a journey that will change Menno forever. So basically, this is a show in a fantasy world where they have to kill the isekai protagonist. And I thought that was, I think that's a very funny setup. But I think it's going to be a little more on the serious side rather than a full-on comedy. Maybe, I don't know. But sign me up. I'm interested. I will give it... I don't know, a 35% chance of passing, because I really don't know too much about the reputation of this property.
All right. My next one, we're on my top 3 now. Number 3, this is really your top 3. Honestly, it's not my top 3. So it is Kawaii Dake Janai Shikimori, which somehow reminds me of the title of Erased, which is, what is it? Something Inai Machi. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Doku Dake ga Inai Machi.
It has the same rhythmic flow. It translates to Shiki Mori's not just a cutie. She is cute. There's no doubt about that. She looks like Steel Angel Kurumi. She got like fucking pink hair, blue eyes. That's a throwback. Steel Angel Kurumi. Terrible show. Doga Kobo is doing this. They've done a lot of stuff. I don't need to go into it. It's based on a manga. Shikimori seems like the perfect girlfriend. Cute, fun to be around, but sweet when she wants to be, but she has a cool dark side that comes out comes out under the right circumstances, a full moon. She grows fur and murders her boyfriend. Just kidding. And her boyfriend loves Izumi, loves to be around when that happens. God, what a terrible synopsis. Fuck.
So he gets horny by the darker aspects of his girlfriend.
I don't even know what that
There's
means.
a lot of two-tone hair I see, and this MC looks straight up like NASA.
NASA?
From, oh my goodness, what's the show that Mitz hates?
I don't know. The fucking Tonikaku Kawaii.
Yeah, Tonikaku. This guy looks like NASA, and there's two-toned hair. How is Mitz going to pass this show?
I'm not going to pass it, probably.
There we go.
School romance. It's got a really cute girl, but the guy is like a wimp. Like, she's just like beating his ass in like the trailer. I don't know. 10% chance. I'll give it 10%. It's just, I don't know.
Stop
these shows
taking all the shows that I had on my list, Mitsugi, because that's what's on my list.
I'm doing you a favor. This show's
this
this show's about as bland as like, Wonder Bread. It's like
I would rather watch this than Tomodachi Game.
Oh, come on. The fucking synopsis of this is a guy has a girlfriend. That's the synopsis. That's the whole story.
At number 8, Caroline, you gotta value it if you're gonna.
Yeah, I guess the general fans were excited about this more than you were, but I don't know. We could switch if you want.
No, I like the list the way they are. You are going to reap what you sow by
I'm not
just
gonna pass this
lists
shit
at random.
I won't pass it.
No, but you're gonna have to sit through shitty shows that you don't like.
Well, it's only 3 episodes, and I'll just have some tequila or something while I watch it. All right, here's what Pancake thought.
Oh, this is just gonna be a school romance, but it looks good from the trailer. Like, I don't know. Might be fun. Might be cute.
Wow. Who is this person?
I will be surprised if it's above a 2.
All right. Next.
There we go. Next up is my number 4 pick. Number 3, I guess if you're going by one shows I actually got. But it is Daemon. This tells the story of Nagomu, who returns to Kyoto for the first time in 10 years when his father is hospitalized, and he's eager to take over the family's sweet shop, but he's instead asked to be a father figure to the girl that everyone calls the successor. This is done by Encourage Films Studio, who I've dropped everything that they've done. It's based on a manga.
Everything?
Like what?
Like the Rice Girl show.
Rice Girls, bro.
Yeah, it's like a real short. Oh, what's it called? Love Rice.
I do love rice. It's very delicious.
Me too. So, but it's not that
Fantastic.
great of a show. They also like picked up like the 3rd season of Is the Order a Rabbit. So they haven't done a ton, but I haven't really connected with a lot of their things. But there is no streaming site listed yet. So I'm just going to assume Crunchyroll and hope I'm correct. But essentially, this just seems like a sweet, really relaxing bakery type show. I don't know. Just the music in the PV is very Natsume-esque. It's like just what the doctor ordered. It seems like one of those, put it on right before bedtime and just soothe yourself into slumber. So hopefully it's one of those shows that is foodie and comfy, and really that's all you need sometimes. I give it, that said, like a 20%, 15 to 20% chance of passing. I don't think there's going to be much to dig into on this show. And being kind of lackluster like that isn't really the most fun thing to, review, but it's probably going to be a show for the people who know what they're looking for. And if this is already, you're like, I'm falling asleep, it's not going to be your show. So
That'd be me.
I'm hopeful. I'm most likely just going to watch it the whole season, once an episode a week, and be like, that was nice, but like not a strong recommendation. So that's my next pick.
Caroline.
I thought that show looked really cute. I kind of wanted it on my list, but I knew you were going to get it because it was higher on yours. But I agree. The music and the animation of that PV just looked so sweet. And I'm hoping that it's not an Usagi drop situation.
I hope it's as good as Usagi drop.
No, but isn't there like a little bit of a concerning ending with that?
That's fine. It's fine. Usagi drop is good. Go watch it, and that's it.
And that's it. Stop there.
Just stop there.
So my number 3 pick is something that we cannot escape from, so why not put it on the list?
Uh-oh.
It's Komi Can't Communicate Season 2.
God.
I am just assuming it's going to be more Komi-san and all the gag comedy that comes with it. I'm just hoping that it's a little less zany and hoping that my least favorite characters are not going to be as involved in this season. I enjoyed the first season enough, so I volunteered as tribute to watch a few episodes of it before I will probably not pass it in interest of passing some other things, but it is most definitely going to be passed by listener or viewers if they are listeners, if they love it enough. So I will, in terms of me passing it, I will give it like maybe a 5% chance of passing because we've already reviewed season 1 and it doesn't really have a lot to discuss about it. In terms of the listeners, I'll give it like a 75% chance of passing.
Oh, at least, yeah.
God. Okay. All right. We already know how I feel about that. Okay.
We are well aware.
Next up, my second pick, because I had to pick it because it's sports anime, so it'll be bad probably, but Birdie Wing, Golf Girls Story. Done by Bandai Namco, who did Sestives. And we know Mason loves that. It is the story of 2 female golfers, 2 girls, you said that already, Eve and Aoi, who grew up in completely different circumstances and have different play styles. One plays like Happy Gilmore, and the other, just kidding, are caught up in the world of women's golf. So, the trailer looks fine. Like, I just hope they play golf in this. Like, for God's sake, I mean, since they're girls, I'm just not going to put it past the studio at all to have them, like, you know, going on, like, fucking idol tours and, you know, worrying about, like, their diet and all this other nonsense that we keep getting from these girl sports shows. Just play golf, have a tournament, you know, do your thing. I generally love golf stuff. So I love Tin Cup. I love Hot Shots Golf. You know, Tiger Woods golf, Mario golf, all the golf shit. I'll even watch golf on TV. I like it. I like the idea of golf, but I won't put it past anime to fuck this up royally. But I'm hoping they do. I'm going to give it a 25% chance of passing. I think if the show is good and they're playing golf and not fucking around, I don't want to be taught about what golf is for 4 episodes. I don't need it. Fucking A.
You don't need it.
I mean, you don't watch TV to be like given a 90-minute tutorial on what golf is. Like, it's gonna be.
You don't listen to anime podcasts for bird facts. Like, you don't.
Jesus. Anyway, so yeah, if they play golf, it'll be good. Otherwise, it'll be bad.
So let's just hope they're like professional golfers and they're gonna be like in a tournament or something. That won't be the case, but a girl can hope, right?
Watch them do their training of the first season just on a mini golf course. And then maybe for the last 2 episodes, they go to a real golf course.
No, it's going to be like, oh, we're taking our best friend golfing for the first time. And they're on the tee and she grabs the putter. And they're like, that's not how you do it. And you're just like, oh, no, it's one of these.
The price is wrong, Bob. You're up, Mason.
I hope it's good golf, too. My number 2 is Dance Dance Dancer.
Revolution? Oh, fuck.
Oh, my goodness.
I got excited for a second.
Is that how you say it? Because it looks like Danseur.
Dancer, but I call it Dancer because I don't know. Let's look it up. How to pronounce Dancer. If we had to do a DDR competition between the 3 of us, who would win?
It would be
Not me.
There was a time in my life when I was like almost competitive level of DDR. I do have a bad back though, so I don't know if I could keep up now, but I used to be pretty good.
That could be an anime about the guy who was injured in a DDR competition, but now he's back.
I'm sensing Mason's pretty good though. I'm guessing you're good.
No. I was a Guitar Hero boy. I didn't.
Okay, then I definitely would win. All right.
So that's Dance Danseur. I don't know. Anyway,
that's no fun,
high school
though. I win by
student
default.
Murano was fascinated by ballet as a boy, but he gave up on dancing after his father's death as he had to quote unquote become a man. However, one day a transfer student appears before him and invites him to dance with her, so begins his return as a full-fledged ballet dancer. It's done by Studio Mappa. You might have heard of them.
Yeah,
Based on a manga that I've been seeing all over the place.
Is that a new cleaning product?
Mappa Fresh, Minty Fresh, teeth whitening strips. I liked Welcome to the Ballroom, another dancing show. I thought that was pretty cool. I guess this is just the season of sports for me, or all of us, because we're picking a lot of them. But Yuki on the OP, yes please. The visuals looked okay. It kind of was typical Mappa, but it didn't wow me. I'll give it a 40% chance of passing. Like, it just needs to be a competent story with believable drive and me to get into whatever dancing they're doing. I think ballroom was more my speed because of the partner aspect of it, but who knows? I hope to be wowed, and I know nothing about ballet, so maybe I do want to learn something. But it seems like people are already coming in with some level of competency, which means hopefully we don't get the whole half-season training arc. So I have no idea what I'm getting into, but I'm kind of, this whole season is like, I don't know what I'm getting into, but I feel kind of good about it, and we'll see how wrong I end up being. But Dance Dance Danseur is I'm just gonna fail it just because I don't know how to say Danseur. So there you go. What do you got, Caroline?
Okay, number 2 on my list is something that people have been looking very much forward to. It's Spy X Family. It'll be done by Toho Animation, obviously off of the very popular manga, and it is an action comedy shonen. And basically, it's about 2 nations that have been in a state of a cold war against each other. So one nation sends their most talented spy called Twilight on a top secret mission in order to do some investigations on the movement of, I don't know, the chairman of one nation's unity party. There's a lot of detail in this synopsis I did not know about. So basically, they have to form an undercover family, and Twilight takes on a new identity and starts looking for family members. His daughter, that he adopts, turns out to have the ability to read people's minds, and his wife is an assassin. So with these 3 trying to keep these facts hidden from each other, apparently, like concealing their true identities from one another. So I guess they don't know about each other's identities, which I did not know. I thought they were all aware, but I don't know. Anywho, I've heard a lot about this one before the anime was even announced, so it's bound to be one of the most popular this season. So I am excited to see what all the hype is about. In terms of what I think, I'll probably pass it. I think I'll give it a 60% chance of passing. And in terms of, even if I don't, I feel like people will probably pass it at like 85% chance.
Yeah, this is almost assuredly getting a review.
That's even probably very small compared to what it actually is. Probably like a 95% chance.
Yeah.
All right, my next pick is pretty obvious. It's Shield Hero Season 2. Shouldn't be any shock. Top anime of the season, according to whatever. Same title, done by Kinema Citrus, who did Shield Hero Season 1, show by Rock, etc. Light novel anime. We all know Shield Hero pretty much, but I'll say it again because I'll read the synopsis of the original season because this is pretty old at this point. The 4 cardinal heroes are a group of ordinary men from modern-day Japan summoned to the kingdom of Melromark to become its saviors. The kingdom is a country plagued by waves of catastrophe that have reportedly ravaged the land and brought disaster to the citizens. The 4 heroes are respectively bestowed a sword, spear, bow, and shield to vanquish these waves. Naofumi, an otaku, becomes cursed with the fate of being the shield hero. Armed with only a measly shield, he is belittled and ridiculed by his fellow heroes and the kingdom's people due to his weak offensive capabilities and lackluster personality. So it kind of reminds me of like a tower defense almost. Like, oh, these waves are coming, and they keep getting like more devastating, I guess. I don't know. The trailer looks fine. It's it's. I feel like it has the budget behind it. It should, at least. I mean, we'll have to see. There's definitely some CG in the trailer. The trailer is very epic, so I don't know. There's a lot of action going on here in the trailer. I'm trying to remember all the stuff that happened in Shield Hero Season 1, but honestly, this has a 99% chance of passing. It's like, this would be like me not passing Season 1 of Attack on Titan. Like, there's no way it's getting past listener choice. So, this is like the anime that I would like bet my house that would get. I would bet my house that it would get listener picked. So I might as well just pass it. That way, at least listener choice is more unpredictable. So I'll probably end up passing this. And other than that, it's Shield Hero. Controversial. People are gonna be pissed. Whatever. To me, it's water under the bridge at this point. It's like 5 years old, but here's what Pancake said.
Well, I mean, it just looks like this. Who's this green-haired girl, and why is she like the main character now? And why does she keep screaming in my ears? Like all she does is scream in a high-pitched voice.
There you go. I don't know.
I
Mason,
feel like all the interesting stuff in Shield Hero was in the first season, and I'm not saying I'm not going to watch it because I enjoyed the first season okay, but I kind of doubt that it's going to have as much attention as the first season.
I thought it was pretty mediocre. The first season, I thought it wasn't that good, but people don't agree with me, so I'm not surprised though. Mason, you're up.
Yeah, my final pick and my number 2 on my list was Onipan, done by Wit Studio, who I will just pretty much watch anything that they do because it's Wit. They are doing Ranking of Kings review next week. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for it. Pretty much Wit and original shows are just love or hate. You got Ranking is manga, but like you have Rolling Girls, you have Vivi, you have Great Pretender, like you have just some great stuff and some not so great stuff, but who knows? This is literally a 15-second PV, so it's anybody's guess what we're getting. But Onipan, short for Oni, which is, Japanese like demons, and Pan for what you would think is bread is actually pants or pantsu. Essentially, it's 3 plucky Oni girls that are trying to improve human Oni relationships through love, friendship, and superpowered underpants. Yeah.
What?
That's the synopsis. So we're gonna have that's what we're getting. It didn't wow me with the visuals. Actually, a new PV just dropped. Oh my goodness, when did this come out? Like very recently, but it really doesn't give you much. It doesn't seem as stylish as some of their other things, so maybe my Wit Studio, whatever they make, as my number 1 pick, didn't work out, but I'm going to give it a 37.3% chance of passing.
Okay. Very specific.
There you go.
Caroline, bring us home.
Okay. Number 1 on my list is something that I stole from Mason in classic form. It is.
We're being on brand.
Yeah. I mean, I did it by the rules. I didn't put it higher than you. We just put it at the same spot. And I got a higher roll. So there we are.
You take that. A win's a win. I concede defeat.
Okay, so number 1 on my list is Summertime Render. It is from Studio OLM, which did Komi-san, did Odd Taxi, I think one on Mason's list, I can't remember which one. And it is from a manga. It's a mystery supernatural shonen. So, after his parents died, Shinpei Ajiro lived with the Kofune sisters, Mio and Ushio, but has since moved out to live on his own in Tokyo. But after Ushio drowns, he returns back home to mourn her departure. However, bruises around her neck makes her cause of death go into question.
Ligature marks.
I mean, it could also be strangulation marks, like, from your hands. But that is all up for debate. We haven't gotten there yet. Taking a step back, Shinpei becomes convinced that there must be another explanation. Dangerous entities roam among the islanders, and a vision of the deceased Ushio asks him to save Mio as her final request. With the help of Mio and various others, Shinpei struggles to forge a future in which he, his friends, and family can stay alive. But the more he investigates, the more impossible such a future seems. So I love a good mystery. It seems pretty interesting, and at the very least, the trailer looks very cool. And I am excited to see more about what this is about. Although I'm not sure who it is. I'm gonna guess it's one of the sister Mio. She's constantly in a bathing suit in the it just seems very strange. Like in a one-piece bathing suit in the promotional art, and I think she's in the trailer as well. It's does she wear anything else other than a bathing suit? I'm wondering.
I mean, she often wears nothing at all. If
Really? Is it?
Yeah, there's a little bit of nudity at the beginning of this.
Alrighty then. So we'll see what that's about. But I'm excited to see what it's all about.
All right. That's it. We covered them all. So we will be getting into these. Probably most of these start next week. So impressions are probably around roughly a month away. So we got a ways to go. So
No, they're starting up now. So
Are they?
It's right around the corner. I mean, I think we'll be able to do reviews after we finish like our fall stuff, pretty much.
I know we're gonna do the impressions as soon as we can. So.
Yeah.
All right.
It's crazy how the years just fly by.
I know.
Let's have some news break action because I need to have a break.
You need to take a nap.
Oh,
sorry. I wasn't ready. I knew it was my time to talk, but I'm sorry. Okay, so in-show weekly trivia question. While we are getting into the news break, the creators of Platinum End also created what other well-known anime property or properties? There'll be 2 of them in the answer, so make sure you let us know after the news break.
Hey, Anime Addicts, this is Mitsugi, and it's time for your anime news break. In this news break, we'll feature nothing but new anime adaptation announcements because we have 576,000 anime made per year, and therefore nothing is ever in the news except new anime adaptation announcements. All right, well, leading us off, we have the biggest announcement of the week, RWBY, which I haven't heard about in a long, long time, is going to get a TV anime announced for 2022. This was announced fairly recently. The Ice Queendom franchise is going to be getting the adaptation. The director is Toshimasa Suzuki of Heroic Age and Bakemonogatari episode directorial efforts. The studio is Studio Shaft, which is a fairly well-known studio. If you are a fan of the Rooster Teeth production of RWBY, you can check it out online, or you can just wait for the anime to come out. So I'm not going to read the synopsis because it's 4 million paragraphs long. But if you're a fan of RWBY, look out for this coming out sometime, I assume soon. And you'll be enjoying that before you know it. Next up, Dead Demons Day, whatever, Destruction, blah, 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 is getting an anime adaptation as well. The anime adaptation was announced fairly recently. Production Plus H is the anime studio behind the production adaptation. So I've never heard of that studio before, but if you know it, then maybe that's exciting for you. The anime property that has 14 days in it is placed among the top 20 manga in the male readers category in the Kono Manga ga Sugoi 2016 rankings, aka this manga is amazing. So it looks like it's fairly promising. And when you look up at the sky, what do you see? A blue sky? Is it freedom? 3 years ago, they came. The arrival of the invaders sparked the greatest war of humanity had ever faced, one that threatened the entire world. The Japanese government scrambles to fight the invaders with the 6 jets and 15 fighters that the Japanese Defense Force controls. Weapons were mass-produced, sparking controversy, a pacifist, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So if you're a fan of Dead Demons, Day, Destruction, look out for that coming out, I don't know, sometime soon. Very carefree news break we're having right here. Another anime adaptation, Renai Flops, TV anime for, you guessed it, 2022. So I know nothing about this property, but someone once said, if there is a beginning, so too exists an end. For every encounter, a farewell follows. In the season of fluttering cherry blossoms, 5 winds blow through the air, and a curtain rises on a fleeting, youthful love story. Very just vague as hell synopsis. Looks like sort of like an urban, I don't know what the hell to call this. Very urban. I don't know. Look out for Renai Flops. People were talking about it online. It sounds very interesting, which is translated to Love Flops, coming out in 2022. Lastly, Kantai Collection is back. More of your favorite anime girls turning into battleships or whatever is coming back someday in that sea. It is scheduled to come out in November 2022. From director Kazuya Miura of Uzaki-chan wa Asobitai and a bunch of other stuff that I'm not going to read. From Studio Angi. So Dio Medea produced a 12-episode first season way back in winter of 2015 when I was living in Japan, and this came out on Crunchyroll and Funimation. If you're a fan of the Fleet Girls Kantai collection, you can check this out again in fall of 2022. This was Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. Now, time to get back to the podcast. You've been working hard at your job and you're driving home late. It's dark outside and your eyes are so very tired. I know, work is hard. But fear not, you have your podcast to listen to. Oh, what's that? You're all out of podcasts. Well, then on your way home, you'll probably accidentally catch a few seconds of shut-eye, drift off, and play the role of Truck-kun, sending some hapless person to an isekai world. Sounds fine, maybe, but they'll probably land butt naked in some town square and be ridiculed and harassed into a life of sadness and poverty. If only you had the AAA Podcast's extra content to listen to, we would have entertained you all the way to the safety of your home with our hentai episodes, our after parties, and our Hobby Addicts episodes. After all, who doesn't like to party? And what would keep you more entertained than talk of your favorite video games, TV series, and of course, anime boobies? Don't be a truck-coon. Head over to aaapodcast.com/join, or maybe you'll go to patreon.com/aaapodcast and support the show today. Again, that's aaapodcast.com/join or Patreon.
And now, great moments in Anime Addicts Anonymous history.
Faye's also a little too. She's a little on the She's a vanishing person. There's just like not a whole lot there too. I think she lives off cigarettes, if you know what I mean. There's not a lot to grab onto.
No handles to hold when you're going at it from behind.
Can you see how delicate I am? I try to say it, and then Pancake comes in and she says it for me. This is a fucking great arrangement.
It is.
You said what I was thinking.
I know.
I just didn't want to say it, so you said it.
Of course.
But it's okay if you say it.
Of course, yeah,
Perfect.
because I have a vagina.
There's not
You can't say
enough
it
to
'cause
hold.
you have a penis.
To
Yeah.
grab onto.
Yeah, you need those handles. You want those back dimples.
You want the cake on the beach, the
Yeah.
sand on the booty.
Yeah. You don't want to slap the ass and go ting.
Ting.
You want a little bit of a wubba
Wubble,
wubba.
wubble, wubble, wubble. Yeah. Perfect. High five.
High five.
There you go. Welcome back to the podcast.
She truly
get
is
a-
very concise.
We
She
need
just
like
gets right to the point.
we need like a bass version of that where when Mitz is wubba wubba, it just like gets all blown out. It's like wubba wubba, and it's like, whoa, jeez. Bass
All right,
boosted
guys.
wubbas.
Yeah, somebody on Discord said they thought that was very funny, so that was for you. We had a trivia question. The creators of Platinum End also created what other well-known anime properties? Death Note and Bakuman. So, sink your teeth into that. And now we're going to make Mason smile because he loves this drop.
I do.
At least he says he likes it. He says he loves it. Here it is. Let's see if he smiles.
Get your popcorn ready. It's time for Unexplored Pictures with Mason.
How can you not smile with that drop? It's just amazing. Well, this will be a very quick episode of Unexplored Pictures because we're running a little long on time, but a little bit of a unique one because I want to talk about the 80-minute French documentary from 2021 that you can watch for free right now if you're listening to this in a reasonable short amount of time after we release it. Because you can watch this as well as a ton of other Satoshi Kon movies for free for a limited time on eventive.org, where you can watch this documentary and a bunch of his other works. So you should go do that, because if you have not seen anything about Satoshi Kon, you are a big dummy. You are just flat out an idiot because you are missing out on one of the most talented, innovative, memorable, influential, and tragic figures across all of anime. And he's one of a kind, and I highly recommend checking out. We've talked about it before. Tokyo Godfathers, Perfect Blue, Millennium Actress, Paprika, all of them are must-watches, and I highly encourage you to do so, as well as, if you like them and want a little bit more of a background, watch this documentary, which is pretty good. It's a run-through of his 4 major films and interviews kind of the personnel, from executives to voice actors and actresses to critics to animators to producers, big names in the Japanese industry like Ando, Hosoda, Oshii, Maruyama, Okura, and some like Western people as well, from Aronofsky, Caro, and Clapton. So it just is a very brief, like I said, 80 minutes run through of kind of the inspirations that he brought into each work, as well as the people who were involved with him, how they kind of perceived Kone's attitude or ideals and kind of what made him tick. If you hear a very excited person in the background, March Madness is on, and my roommate is very into it. But yeah, so it's just a very, paint by numbers. They start off with kind of his beginnings in manga and Kone's first step into films with Perfect Blue and kind of how that aligned with Madhouse's views in the 90s, as well as like the changing and more intimate idol culture that was emerging, to Millennium Actress, Tokyo Godfathers. They just kind of went down the line and just gave you some nice little things that, despite being a big fan of his works, I never either realized the references to or the inception behind some of the ideas, or just the behind the scenes things which are cool. So I know you guys are big Kone fans, so I'd recommend that
Hell
for
yeah.
you guys. I would say the most interesting one to hear about was Millennium Actress. I didn't realize how much like the movie of Slaughterhouse 5 went into that, and I didn't know that it won, or it was tied for like the first time ever, like the Cultural Affairs Media Arts Festival Award for like best Japanese movie in 2001 with Spirited Away, which is like, everyone here is like, oh, Spirited Away, best movie ever. No, Millennium Actress was tied with it. That's how good it is and how underappreciated it is, because you never hear people talk about Satoshi Kon's work on the same level, even though they are just as, if not better, than a lot of Ghibli work. So please watch all Satoshi Kon's works. And if you want a little bit more, Satoshi Kon, The Illusionist, is not a bad little thing to do, especially when it's for free. So go check that out at eventive.org.
Wait, so you said that this one is for free, or is it also
This one and
stuff?
all his 4 movies are also for free.
Oh, okay.
And
so which one of his 4 movies do you think people should watch the most?
The most, my
which
favorite
one, if
is
you have the chance to
Millennium
watch one?
Actress. I think Perfect Blue is the best. I think most people should start with Tokyo Godfathers, and I think most people will be most wowed by Paprika.
Okay, so watch all 4 of them is basically the answer.
It's only 4, and they're all very different. It's very much a blending of reality and fiction, and it's just a matter of, do you want a darker, more sinister, more disturbing nightmare, or do you want a more fruitful, beautiful fantasy dreamscape? And it's just it's an experience unlike any other, and it's cool in this film because we get to see, in this documentary I should say, we get a glimpse into what his 5th film would have been had he not passed away, and you can see many ideas, Dreaming Machine, how many like those characters and things were in Paprika just hidden in the background that I never realized. So that was kind of cool, like how far ahead he was thinking. But if you had to start with one Kon movie to be like, get a feel for like what he's capable of, I would say it either has to be Paprika or Perfect Blue if you want something darker, or Paprika if you want something a little bit lighter.
I still want to go see Perfect Blue, so I should probably do that now.
It's
worth it.
It's so good. It's so
really good.
intense.
Yep.
And when people are like, "Oh, anime can't do horror or frightening stuff," like, it is demented in a like nightmare that you get caught up in, and it's so good.
How long are these going to be available for? Do you know?
I do not know, but I think until like middle of April, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe not. So you have time. But get your reservation in now. You just go to the site, you give them your email, and you get the stuff for free. And you have like X amount of days to watch it. So
okay,
if you've been looking for an excuse to watch it, I think Millennium Actress is also just on YouTube for free. So if you miss out on it, you can do that too. But it's not always easy to find these things, but it's absolutely worth the effort. So please watch Satoshi Kon films. They are really good.
Speaking of March Madness,
better do that.
Go Peacocks. Peacocks. Let's go.
I haven't been following it at all,
So
but
many birds
sure.
in this show. So many bird references in this episode. Okay, shall we get to our mailbag?
You're not aware of the
let's do it.
Peacocks, Mason?
I am so unaware of the Peacocks.
Well, so they're the 15 seed, and they beat number 2 seed Kentucky. Then they beat number 7 seed Murray State, and then they beat number 3 seed Purdue For the first time
go
in
Peacocks for sure, especially for beating Purdue. No one likes Purdue.
For the first time in human history, a 15 seed got to the Elite Eight, but they're getting destroyed by North Carolina, so it's kind of sad. Mailbags.
Yay! Mailbag time.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag.
Peacocks, 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 peacocks.
Anime. Anime.
Mailbag, bag.
That had so much going on.
All right, Caroline, please save us.
I've been trying, Mitzi, but you are a tough cookie with the whole peacock
Look at
thing.
my tail feathers.
Okay. Mailbags. If you want to submit them, go to AAApodcast.com, click on the mailbag button, and it's pretty easy because that is what Sir Weebs-a-Lot did. Love that name, man. Love it.
Doing the Humpty
Okay,
Hump.
so he says, hello, AAA Pod. Why do you feel that bad anime adaptations get more leniency than in comparison to anime original shows? Like, one of my favorite shows of 2021 was Wonder Egg Priority. There is no debate that show seemed to lose focus towards the end. But for a lot of the runtime, it was spectacular and covered subjects not many anime before it covered. But a subpar adaptation of a good manga, like Tokyo Revengers, gets praise and leads to millions of manga sales. Thanks for reading, and sorry for the long question. Not at all, Sir Weebs-a-Lot. That was not too long, actually, so don't worry about it. But in my opinion, when there's already source material, there's a large portion of people who are more aware of what they're going to get. So if they already know that it's going to, like, if it's not going to be for them, they are less likely to watch and complain about it later. So, although I don't know if your question is more towards the production values going downhill or rather the story going downhill. For Wonder Egg Priority, for me, it kind of did both. But I think it also comes as less of a surprise when an anime adaptation story goes downhill compared to a story no one has prior knowledge about. So they get a little bit more terse about it, if that's the word. They get a little bit more, it becomes more part of the conversation, I suppose. So, What do you got, Mason?
Yeah, I don't really know if, like, manga adaptations get as much quote-unquote leniency. It's just, like, people are already on board for it and ready to support it. And fan bases tend to be not the best and just blindly saying, I like this thing, rah-rah, no matter what happens. And, you know, having that group of fan base also helps people talk about it and spread the word more and gets more people, and thus more people who might be fans of it, engaged. So I don't know if people are like, oh, well, if two shows were of equal quality, they'd be like, oh, because this is an adaptation, it's better or worse. Like, I don't know how much there is to it, but I don't know. I think good shows are good and bad shows are bad, and I think over time we do a pretty good job of deciphering that regardless of if it's an adaptation or not.
I'm going to abstain from this answer because I don't really know how to answer it. It sounds like it's a question based on opinion, so I don't really know. It's like not all original anime get less leniency than adaptations. So all right, Platinum End. Here we go. This was a fall 2021 anime. It was one of mine. I passed it on episode 599, so we know it's going to be bad. And it was on...
that the same episode that you passed The World's Finest Assassin? I believe it was.
Couldn't tell you.
So, I mean, I'm kind of having the feeling that basing your impressions solely on the popularity list, I don't know. I kind of feel like that's an issue for some reason.
Listen, we got to make sure that the fans get what they want. All right, so
they do. We have a listener poll for that reason.
Even when the fans bring pain upon themselves. Okay, so I watched this on Verve, and I watched it almost dubbed the entire time, which was a lifesaver. Ever since his family was lost in an explosion, Midai has lived a life of pain and despair. Every day he endures abuse at the hands of relatives who took him in, and his anguish steadily chips away at his will to live, and he eventually is pushed to the brink. He commits suicide or tries to, and instead of falling to his death, he enters a trance where he meets a winged angel who claims to be his guardian named Nase, who's super cute. And then the angel who offers him 2 priceless abilities to convince him to go on living. One is to have wings, and the other is to have these arrows, which, the red arrow is used to essentially make someone fall in love with you or do whatever you want, like do your bidding. The white arrow kills people or things, and they're told that like the last of these people that receive these powers will be a candidate to become the new god. That's the premise. From studio Signal MD and director Kisei Kazuchiya of Otome Yokai Zakuro, which we reviewed on this podcast like 9 years ago. Based on a manga, as we've said. Mason, what were your expectations going into Platinum Men? Yeah.
I had no expectations. I actually didn't know a single thing about it, which made the immediate obvious comparison to Death Note authentic, because I was just watching it and halfway through episode 1 I'm getting big Death Note vibes. And then I looked it up and I'm that makes sense. That said, I didn't look into the show at all. I think when we were doing impressions and selections, I just took one look at the promotional art. I'm doesn't seem like my kind of show, and just haven't followed up with it since. So I was going in completely blind.
Caroline?
I knew a bit about it before going into it. I knew it was from the same guys as Death Note, and I knew it was going to be a battle royale with angels, and I honestly, from the description, I did not really think it was going to be something that I would like, because battle games are not things that typically are good, are really good shows. Some of them are decent, some of them are mostly not that great. So I wasn't really expecting much going into it.
This was my pick, so I knew I had a pretty good idea. I'd seen the first 3 episodes, and I thought the first 3 episodes were interesting. The premise is interesting enough. It's not totally unoriginal, and I enjoyed sort of at least the initial strategy of, I have these powers, I need to, take out these other people, are they looking for me, blah, 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 cat and mouse. So, I was kind of hoping for a good action-based Last Man Standing anime. Now, that all being said, Mason, would you recommend the end of Platinums?
No, not really. Not even as a dumpster fire, not even as a so bad it's kind of entertaining sort of way. It seemed pretty early on that they had written a story that didn't have the leg power and philosophical ideas to really carry it to the end, and it just quickly turned into a slog. And being a 2-core show did it no favors, especially when, through no fault of its own, when I have to watch all episodes in 1 week, and I just felt like it was a chore, and every episode would end and I'd be like, oh, I have a lot more to go still, and it always felt that way. So I would not recommend it for just about anybody.
Mason, but what if I said to you, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
It was a fun little concept at the beginning. It was it was a better show to watch 2 episodes of and then have the conversation with your friends. Oh, how would you do it? What's your pick? I would have rather heard almost anyone else. The idea was fine. The concept was there, but come on, it wasn't that good.
Oh, come on. Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Caroline, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
I can't say it's not unrecommendable. I didn't think it was as bad as Mason was saying. I generally thought it was entertaining throughout. Not the most entertaining thing I've ever seen, but enough. I don't know if it's worth the general anime fans' time, especially considering it's 2-core. If you like your battle games, then this is probably one that you'd want to watch. I can't say that the Death Note creators made themselves a thing that is nearly as good as Death Note. I can't say that. I feel like Death Note is something that every anime fan should watch, regardless of what they personally like. This one, I can't say that at all, so that should tell you something. Although I did make a couple polls about it on Twitter, It turns out in the question, if you were in Platinum End, which are you picking, either wings or arrows? 67% of people say wings, which I was expecting. And about the ending of Platinum End, no spoilers here. So I asked them how it was and gave them the options of platinum for good, silver for okay, bronze for meh, and lead for trash.
Lead?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what is a bad metal, and I guess I'm like, I don't know, lead. So I went with lead. So 46% of people say that it's trash. Second place is okay with 27%, meh at 18 or 17%, and 10% of people said that it was a good ending. So I don't know.
I thought the ending was the best part, but
I thought it was certainly out of left field.
we'll definitely get to spoilers eventually.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
So what's your recommendation?
I don't know.
Sort of,
It's a maybe or sort of. It's not unrecommendable, but it's not generally, oh yeah, you should totally watch it kind of thing. I wouldn't say that.
I thought it was okay. I still don't think I'd recommend it. I think there's a lot of other shows where people fight and try to wipe each other out that are a little better. So, I mean, I'm still waiting for them to make a battle royale anime. I've been saying this for like 10 years now. Like, get around to it. But I don't know. There's just a lot of better action shows, and this show has way too much talking in it. They talk so fucking much. It's just a little too much. So
too much.
It's not. I don't think this show was a fucking disaster, but I still don't think I'd recommend it. I really try to save recommendations for shows that are, you know, the highest quality. I don't want to recommend someone something and then they think it's not good, and then they, you know, they don't want to take my recommendation the next time. So that's about it.
I mean, I'd rather recommend like Future Diary or like Juni Tyson for like a death game over this show.
Yeah, at least Future Diary is just absolutely insane.
I mean, at least that show was fun and exciting, and like it didn't bore me. I don't know.
All right, here comes your spoiler drop.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god!
Where shall we
This
start?
anime was bad. It was bad. Let's not kid ourselves. I would
It's
take
not
the side
that bad.
stories within Bakuman over this show.
So the two problems I have with this anime are, one, they talk too much. You know, they can stand there and talk about like what they're gonna do or like their strategy in the middle of like action for like 10 fucking minutes. You know, there's particularly like it was one of the most prominent examples of this is that episode where Metropolitan and Mirai were just taking shots at each other. And
I know. I agree.
they just talk for like fucking 9 minutes.
About it. It's like, how long is this going to take? That's literally what I did with a TikTok video about this show. It's just absolute back and forth. Take one shot, talk for 10 minutes, and then take another shot.
Yeah, and the other issue was that there's just a little too much stupid stuff in this show. Like the character.
Where do you begin?
Yeah,
There's
it's
so
like
much stuff.
It's a very serious premise. Like we're selecting God, okay, and you know, these people are killing each other. Like there's a lot of suicide in this anime, you know, and it's just like there's a lot of serious themes, and you got like these people popping out of nowhere. They're like all dressed like Super Sentai characters. Metropolitan is like, I don't know what he's supposed to be, like a police officer superhero. I don't fucking know. He reminds me of like Great Saiyaman. You got like the guy with like the machine guns who looks like one of the villains from Most Dangerous Geist who got offed in like the first half of episode 1. You got the guy wearing like the weird like Roman Greek bust head. I don't know what the hell that was.
Yeah.
There's the girl with like the viruses. I swear to
need
God.
an
Like,
edgy
I'm a
biochemical
nurse that have a
super warfare.
biochemical in my hands. It's
I
like,
swear we just
agree.
watched. Didn't we just watch an anime where some girl had like a virus that she was gonna unleash? I swear we just saw an anime where some fucking girl had a virus.
I don't know.
And you know, it's just a lot of silly crap, you know, going on.
I know. I totally agree. That whole like ending arc with Metropolitan, like the characters were just caricatures, or villains were just caricatures, and I was like, why are they doing this? Why I keep on thinking about, well, in Death Note, and I should not be doing that because it's kind of unfair to just keep on comparing this to Death Note. But in Death Note, the villains were actual people. Like, they didn't seem like too far-fetched.
If
but
anything,
this is like a people dressing up in costumes like it's Halloween and then pretending to be the mustache twirling villain.
if anything, they were more like JoJo villains, where they just come in, they're elaborately dressed. I put a chip infused in my heart, and if I die, I'll unleash a massive bioweapon. Because we need something to make me bad. Like, it was so one-dimensional, but there was nothing was fun about it. Like, everything was, oh my goodness. And they fall into the trap of having numbers in your show makes it good world building. Like, oh, the arrow range is 30 meters and there's 0.15 seconds where my arrow is effective after I die. And like, they set up all these weird rules and think that, oh, because we put numbers onto them, that makes it feel more real.
Oh yeah, and
it really doesn't.
And I was also going to say the whole 999 day limit, that makes the time limit, it makes no sense because like, why is it 999 days? And it also does not come into importance at all.
They didn't have a fourth digit.
It doesn't make any sense. Like,
I mean,
why?
Y2K, Caroline.
There's so many things that they set up. Like, oh, who is Nase? She's a special rank angel, but maybe there's more to her. And
we don't know.
They don't get around to it. I mean, I think the biggest issue I had with this show, a lot of these things, they get set up to be like these situations that are tough to get out of, and you're expecting something clever to save the day. Like when they get trapped by the fake JoJo guy who was ugly and now he's not ugly. And he like traps them in the puzzle box. So they're like, how are we going to get out of this? We're going to fly with people in our arms for over 12 hours at light speed and just wait until something happens. And you're like, okay, they're going to do something clever. No, the waifu Saki comes in wearing fucking mechanical cat ears and a tail.
She is waifu.
And like, she literally just is the embodiment of every female character that these duo write, from Bakuman to Death Note, where it's just the token waifu, and that distracts them. And like that was the big play, and you're just like, that wasn't interesting or clever. Like, I'm not applauding. It's just weak logic to dumb situations. And there are characters that die off, and that would matter if you cared. But every time a character dies, people get over it in 2 seconds because you realize how like unimportant everyone is. Everyone was replaceable. Everyone was uninteresting. And I've never seen a show where dying off means so little, because there was nothing to it.
The real waifu was Nase, for sure.
Nase was adorable. She was also a little bit of a sociopath, but
yeah, every time she like had the big beaming cutesy smile when she's like, he's finally gonna kill someone. He's gonna do it.
Finally gonna kill someone. She was a freaking weirdo, but it was kind of funny.
I mean, she had like more character than anyone else in the show, no doubt about it.
I mean, I enjoyed
the point of her being demoted. Like, Nase was demoted in like the last couple episodes for for saving Mirai. But what was the freaking point of promoting her back in like 20 seconds? Why did they do that?
This is very much not a review. This is just us ranting and hoping that you, listener, have seen the show, because otherwise you're like not getting any of this, because it really just was a jumble of bad ideas.
It's like, oh my gosh, there was repercussions for something at least, and then they're like, oops, nope, she gets promoted back for no real reason.
I thought the show had moments. I like some of the cat and mouse stuff. You know, I understand that the writer's kind of good at that. You know, because that's a lot of like Death Note had a lot of cat and mouse in the beginning, at least. And this show, it was kind of interesting having them talk about like, oh, well, you've already used your red arrows, and they're like kind of strategizing verbally. They just talk too much. Like, it goes on a little too long, but some of that sort of like strategic cat and mouse action that they kind of get into was probably the strong point of the show. I don't think it was always the smartest, most intelligent stuff, and definitely the philosophical stuff was kind of whatever. But
I mean, our protagonist had the same belief he's had since he was 6 years old. Like, that is the level of like intellectual like depth we're getting in these conversations.
It's like
Wow.
killing is the worst thing you could possibly do. So I am going to not do anything for the entirety of this show.
well, it's
By
not
the
wrong.
nickel
I mean,
for every time he said Shiawase, I would have like
Happiness,
200 nickels.
happiness. You have
like
like
we-
5,000 nickels.
Yeah, we got it.
let's see. I thought that the OP was very poor. I did not like that OP.
I love the OP.
Oh, okay.
I thought the song's great.
It's a little
Did it
too.
fit the show, and was it visually interesting? Or are you just talking about the song?
I was just talking about the song. It's just too
Caroline?
metal for me.
I loved it. I mean,
Okay.
I like both.
To be fair, Death Note also had terrible OPs, so is what it is.
What are you guys talking about? I love the. Well, okay, I didn't like the second one. I like the first one. It's the world gone topsy turvy. What is happening?
No,
Metro
it just-
Apollo
there-
Man was definitely insane. He was a fucking nut. So I mean, they finally like give you his backstory, like what his motivations are. And
He's just a sister guy.
yeah, what was his
loves
like?
his sister.
He was like so obsessed with his sister that he'd rather kill her than have her like go on a date. It's like totally nuts.
insane.
Yeah, the big twist of this entire show, the only time where I was like, wow, that was unexpected, is when she falls back dramatically and hits her head. And you're like, oh no, she's dead. It's so typical and boring. And he's like, oh no, you're dead. I'm so sad. And then she's like, what are you talking about? I'm fine. And I'm like, oh, they got me. And then she dies. It's like, oh, so you just twisted it and then twisted it back into being boring, banal, paint by numbers BS. Like I felt like this show was every couple episodes, the writers were like, damn, this is not a good idea. We have nothing of good content. Let's try something new to see if that sticks. And it was just miss after miss after miss. And they just kept on having to go with all these different directions because they were hoping something would save it. But then they realized, no, we don't have any good ideas and we just need to end it all. And by end it, I mean delete it. Everyone, delete,
Yeah.
delete, delete. Control A, Control Shift, delete. That's what the show was.
They snapped They snapped everyone out of existence like it was Endgame or Infinity War.
Yeah, and that was kind of the first like Neon Genesis like esque, almost like, hey, we're trying to make a statement and touch on something interesting, but it was still pretty weak by the end of it. So I don't know, like visually it looked fine most of the time, but there were some fights like episode 14 when like Mariah's getting hilariously stabbed, or like the character model dips in episode 18, or when Mukaido dies and they like do like the very sketchy like face look, but like it made me laugh out loud. It was like those scenes in Haikyuu where like they do the praying for the Buddha and it just looks so like out of place. Like they did that when he died and I was cackling. Like I thought the angels looked cool, but besides that, this was like visually very uninteresting.
Like honestly, I was very surprised by the ending of this, but in hindsight, I shouldn't have been, because they're choosing maybe you guys can help me out with this, but like I just feel like they're choosing very poor people to be these candidates to be God. Like you'd think you'd want to pick someone's like,
can you do a little bit more vetting for your candidates?
Yeah, I mean, it's
beforehand?
like you would think it's like, oh, okay, you are maybe having a strong sense of justice. You know, maybe you are particularly like of a standing moral character. Like I don't know what the hell the criteria is, but it's not.
Like, no, let's pick all the people that don't want to be on Earth anymore.
Yeah, let's pick all the people that want to kill themselves and like are totally fucking nuts, like Metro Apollo Man. I almost feel like no matter who you picked, you're really putting the wrong person in the hands of like the history of like the future of humanity. And so, in hindsight, like I'm just not surprised by how the ending panned out, which I know we'll get to. But like, what the fuck were they thinking? Honestly.
What also were they thinking about making all the candidates from Tokyo? Like, why?
Well, I don't
It's
know.
I
again
think
with
they
that
gave a reason,
arbitrariness.
No, I
A
think
lot
they
of
give a
people like
reason.
to die
A
here.
lot of people like to die here, so we
They
might as
do
well
give a
all be
reason.
in the same
Crazy.
spot.
It's
That was so
absolutely
stupid.
crazy.
No, the reason wasn't the reason that Tokyo is the most densely populated city on Earth, and so they want to like make it hard to find the other candidates.
No, they said this because a lot of people commit suicide here.
They literally said
Ah.
that, and I'm like, what?
Well, they're
Are
not
you
wrong.
serious?
It's like it was closest to where we were, so we're just gonna pick it.
Well,
Like-
we all, for some reason, speak Japanese, so let's go with it.
I mean, I could argue, if I had to be like a fan of the show, I could say, well, they've established that, angels have a very terrible sense of empathy. Like they don't really get and understand humans. So that's probably maybe why they picked bad candidates, which, okay, fine. But you also picked a bunch of uninteresting characters. Like you can pick terrible candidates, but if they're engaging and interesting and not, I would do nothing. I would also do nothing. I would do nothing as well, but I'd make people really be okay with dying. Like that was the level of variety we were getting in our spice of life, and boy, was it not good.
Why also make it a death game to choose God? That seems like a bad idea to me.
So we can have Metropolitan Man, whatever, like freaking
Neapolitan. I like that play.
Cosmopolitan.
Just yeet a 7-year-old girl after trying to rip her arm off because this is what we need for edginess, comedy.
This is the God we need.
I mean, there just
will
was not
say-
much of anything to this show.
I will say, it can be pretty gruesome sometimes. Like, I thought some of the deaths were like, holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, getting riddled
One
by
guy was
bullets.
literally melted to goo.
Yeah.
We saw Metropolitan get shot. We got to see the bullet eye view going into his body. That was kind of interesting. The girl's death was pretty sad when she's like having her arm ripped off. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff there.
But
Can
did
it-
that make that show good or memorable, or was it just like unnecessary edginess to try to sprinkle in something of like uniqueness into the show?
I wouldn't say I made it good though.
I mean, I don't know. It's like I didn't think it was all that violent. Like you got to get back to like the 80s to get the real violent shit. When someone's head explodes and their brain and eyes like explode out and slide out of their head, like then it's violent.
Yeah, but that didn't happen after 5 episodes of talking, of them flying around in a cage with humans being like, I wonder
Well,
what'll
they do
happen.
talk too
I don't
much.
know, let's just keep on going.
Was Death Note this talky? I don't remember.
It was a lot of,
It was,
inside
but it was
thought, but it was
much
interesting
more,
talking.
Yeah, it was much
It
more
was
insightful.
strategic, and there was a reason why there was so much talking, because there was a lot of
Strategery.
I'm doing crab hands.
strategery.
Crab hands.
But-
Talk. Talk.
Blah,
Yeah,
blah,
it
blah,
was
yada,
way
yada,
too much.
yada.
You can't have like a duel to the death and talk the entire time.
Oh my god, if he fires his white arrow, then I can slide to the right and do a parry, followed by my red arrow. Oh, but wait, if he uses a red arrow, he can't do that because I was already hit with a red arrow by blah, blah, blah. And, but I can't, Jesus. And if he shoots from this
No.
distance, can I block it? I just don't, it's a lot like Inuyasha, they'll just, like, I'm going to use my Tetsaiga to throw a wind scar at you, and he'll, it's just like, they just announce everything that they're gonna do, and they just talk way too fucking much, and it just.
But it was a lot of, should we go see these people? Is it a trap? Is it not a trap? Okay, we'll go anyway, even though we're knowing it's a trap. And then by the end, they're just popping down on other people. Like, are you a god candidate? Are you a god candidate? Are you a god candidate? Oh, I can't kill this one person because of the sake of mankind. And then 2 episodes later, there's some chump, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll yeet people off the face of the earth because my ideals are so fragile and whimsy.
I love how they made it seem so easy to pick out individual people that seem depressed or might commit suicide and might have like another love interest just suddenly enter their lives. And they're like, that could be a god candidate. And I'm like, are you serious? What?
We need to make God a woman who develops viruses that will kill everybody. Yes.
Well, she wasn't a
that's the-
candidate. She was just a rando that Metropolitan got hit with his red arrow, so she can be one of his, and he gave her wings and that kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
But I think Mason just brought it up a little bit over the weird flip-flop of ideas that Kakehashi had. So why did he put up such a fuss about not wanting to kill Metropolitan, who directly kills people, and a lot of people? but a little more willing to kill Yoneda, who might indirectly cause death amongst the population of people by saying God does not exist, because apparently one guy saying God does not exist is enough to change everyone's minds and for everybody
the professor
to
guy, Yoneda, yeah.
Like, why is he then more willing to kill that guy than to
like
kill a guy that is directly causing a mass amount of destruction to everyone?
He didn't
no
like
matter who it is.
his glasses.
Maybe.
They were
Maybe
too
he
much
just didn't like his
Kamina.
lazy eye.
I don't have an answer for that.
It's grr. That's what it is.
Okay.
That's all I have to say. I've said a lot.
How about that ending? I watched that shit this morning and I was like, wow, I didn't see that crap coming. Unbelievable. You know, basically, it's not that shocking though. Like, they picked all these people that want to kill themselves, and then the guy becomes God, and I won't say who it is. It's not really important. And then he's like looking at all the misery on Earth, and then he just offs himself. That's pretty much what happened, right? He white arrowed himself.
Yeah.
And then everybody just dies.
I thought he suddenly became interested in trying to help people. So why did that change?
I think he just took a look at all the people on the Earth that are fucking miserable, and I don't know, just couldn't handle it. That's kind of how I took it, because that's what he was doing right before he killed himself, was like looking at all the. He started with the happy stuff, and then went from the happy stuff to, you know, people that
How
are like
much
jumping.
misery there is out there.
Yeah, and then he's just like, all right, I can't deal with it. I'm just gonna wipe myself out, and just, I don't know. It was really strange. Unexpected though. I didn't dislike it. It was at least unexpected. So when it was happening, I was like, wow, holy shit! Like, it's going down.
Yeah, I didn't mind the ending. I thought the last episode was probably my favorite episode.
Is that because it was
For
ending,
being
or?
honest. No, not just because it was the last episode and I was finally at the sweet release of death, but I don't know.
I feel like he wasn't intending what happened to happen. I don't think he thought that everyone on Earth was going to just, out of existence.
Is that why it's called Platinum End? Because the end is caused by the platinum colored arrow?
I thought,
That
here's what
was
I
my
thought.
interpretation.
I thought it was called Platinum End because platinum is like the purest metal, right? So by having everyone blink out of existence, the Earth has become pure from them.
Maybe.
I think all metals are equally pure as long as they're pure. I don't know.
Yeah, what makes platinum pure?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a blacksmith. I don't know.
A blacksmith?
But I've heard isn't platinum from Avatar? Let's talk about Avatar for a second.
What, the Airbender or the alien people?
No, Airbender. So the reason why Toph couldn't bend metal for a long time is because it's been purified from Earth, but it has a little bit of Earth in it, so she's able to bend it eventually. And I think, isn't it in Korra that they use platinum because you can't bend platinum? I feel like I can remember it being that way. I don't know.
I mean, I
Look
know
it up.
platinum is more pure than some other things, but
it's whatever.
I don't know.
I thought that was just like the fusion of other. I don't know.
I'm looking it up. You
don't know bird facts.
Platinum.
Platinum's not even worth as much as gold anymore. It hasn't been for a while.
Sure, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't have much else to say. I mean, it was okay. Like, I don't know. It was just too long. I don't think it needed to be as long as it was. There's a lot of fucking around going on in this show.
Do you think they could have done it in a single core though?
I don't know, maybe.
I felt like that would have been rushed. I definitely don't think they had enough ideas for 2 core. I don't think they even had enough ideas for 1 core, but I think to try to tell the full story, I don't think they could have pushed it into 1. It just
Okay.
I didn't think it was very
All
interesting.
right. She's got it.
Us.
Platinum alloys are 90 to 95% pure. So I'd say that's pretty pure.
Okay.
It's been determined.
Good job finding that source.
This show is 90 to 95% bogus. I don't really have much to say. Like, it's just whining and complaining and just like shaking my head in disbelief. Like, why did this have to be a thing?
It's an okay show.
It was so contrived.
I think people who want something deep from it or want some like blistering action, like, you're not going to get those things. I just don't think it really delivered either of those. I will say that I didn't think it was the worst thing I've seen. I liked the ending. It was easy to watch and dubbed. It went by fairly quickly dubbed. I actually watched probably 8 or 9 episodes of this while I played Elden Ring. I just kind of like let it play in front of me on an iPad, and I watched it and listened to it, and I was just running around killing monsters. But I still wouldn't recommend it. I just don't think it's quite good enough. To me, it was very average. So I don't know if this is because the last few reviews we've done are pretty bad, or if it's just really, better than I expected it would be when I jump back into it. But I'm gonna give it 3 white arrows out of 5.
Okay, I can go next.
That's generous.
Putting it in. Yeah, this show had almost nothing of redeeming value. There was no interesting visuals. There was no interesting philosophical ideas. There was a couple twists along the way. I mean, it had just a generically all-right setup that made you think, oh, what would I do? White, red, wings, that sort of thing. But I think where it went was overall very unrewarding, and over 2 courts, it was pretty insufferable. I'm going to give it 1.5, just kill them all out of 5.
Kill them all. Well, that's what happened.
Yeah.
I thought that this show was a bit entertaining, throughout. I kind of like the first half better than the second half, to be honest. But by the second half, it really did just turn into a, if I were to describe it, kind of similar to Babylon in the last couple episodes, where it was just talking about the morality of suicide, and became like some random college student's thesis in anime form, but it didn't have anything real to say, in my opinion anyway. So I don't know if it's worth people's time to put into a 2-core show just to get a little something. I don't know. I think, in my opinion, it wasn't too bad, but it wasn't really worth the time. I'd give it 2.5 battles won by a girl putting on a cat suit out of 5.
Yeah. Cat suit.
I mean, I would definitely agree. I like the first half more, but I would also say I'd much rather watch Babylon over this show.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Okay.
Oh, easy.
I feel like Babylon was more stupid than this, but
I don't even remember that. All I remember was thinking, when is this shit going to end?
It had a lot. I mean, it wasn't a good show. I gave it also a 1.5, but it had a lot more interesting things to say in a lot less time.
What did I give Babylon? I thought you had it right in front of you.
I did, and I closed it. You gave it a 1.5.
Oh, okay. Damn.
So you, myself, and Mandy gave Babylon a 1.5 across the board.
Oh, Caroline was spared
probably
from that
similar
one.
to what I got. No, I've watched Babylon, so I probably gave it a similar score.
So that averaged that to a 1.5, and the platinum end averages to a 2.5, which is just right down the middle. So
just very average.
Yep.
So
All right.
I guess that's it.
Get us out of here,
Well,
Caroline.
If you want to follow us for more opinions on things, go find us on Twitter at AAA Podcast. Follow Mason at Macy Pacey. And you can also find us on Facebook, on Discord. It's a very easy way to join our Discord. Just go to AAApodcast.com, and we have a click to join the Discord button. And then you can enjoy stuff like Anime Club, which we are getting together, and is it Princess Tutu we're watching next, Mason?
It is.
Yeah, so we are getting together on the Wednesday after this one. I can't remember.
6th?
April 6th. We are getting together on April 6th and talking about the first 12 episodes of Princess Tutu.
It might be 13. It
Sonic
might
13
be
episodes. Check out the channel for Anime Club, and in the pin notes, we have all the information there if you want to learn more. So there's, of course, Anime Club. There's a lot of other stuff on our Discord if you want to go ahead and chat with your fellow anime fans. And you can also find us on TikTok at _anime_addicts. And that's basically the end of the show. Next week, we're discussing Ranking of Kings, which I am hoping is a lot better than this one.
I hope it's dubbed.
I don't know about that.
I don't think so.
Oh my
you better
god.
get on it.
I'm gonna white arrow myself.
It's okay.
It's another 2-core.
You can do the dub for Boji.
Yeah, that's really easy because, you know, for obvious reasons.
We'll find out. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. This was fun as always. Let us know what bad selections we made, and see you next time.
Yeah, see you guys next time.
Bye, guys. Take care. See you next week.